it was us telling our story. They did not come up with a script for us. It was us saying what we think, what we feel, what we've experienced, and then them converting that into a VR experience.
I wanted to talk about spaces, and I thought the 360 camera, the virtual reality, gives you that opportunity to go through storytelling, but instead of going through characters, you'll go through spaces. So the space becomes now the character. That's how we ended up in VR.
This was my first time participating in anything VR related with regards to being in the experience.
I think as soon as I saw the script, I was sold. I was just like, so when are we starting this and how do we do this?
When I read his general concept, I thought it was brilliant because he was creating an awareness, shooting like 360 for the first time, and we were going to do some things that we had never done before.
Because most people that even do VR only do like maybe short videos of probably 2 to 5 minutes.
It's like a crash course of Nairobi in like 15 minutes.
Kila space iko na concept yao, unaona. Na saa nafurahi sana kuna concept ya kila moja ikiwekwa pamoja hivyo vile imewekwa sahihi.
The journey starts in Nairobi, here where we are at the bus. You can be either a male or a female, and you experience everything from the perspective.
So this is interesting because aside from the introduction, you don't really see me because the point of view is mine.
It's an immersive feeling. Then now you get to experience the space as it is. That's the best thing about the Space Makers,
There's 360 movement. Like the camera is at the center, there's something happening at the front, there's something happening at the back. You become the camera when you're watching a 360 experience. And the camera in our case was the director.
You are at this workshop about urban storytelling. You've been given a mission, now you have to go out and document 5 spaces around Nairobi.
You feel like you're inside the crew and the adrenaline rush. It was really dope.
Let's say for our episode, you get to experience Muse as it was. Yeah, you get to experience Chester House as it was. Everything from the top floor to the party over there. It's one of the best ways to actually explain such a concept. Yeah, because you get to immerse someone inside the space. And that's all Africa Space Makers is about. Like, it's you immersing yourself into this space. So I feel like VR was the best idea to do this project on.
Which is not a film, by the way. It's a journey or / an experience. The whole African Space Maker idea is very conceptual. It's not that you are getting inside a real matatu, you are getting in this like empty room. Once you are there, you choose where you want to go. You can choose 5 different spaces. But now one of these spaces you can only go if you have done all the other spaces.
Once you choose and you go with the thing that you choose. And if you want to choose another path, you have to go back and start all over again so that you can get to that point, so that you can be able to choose the other thing that you were not able to choose. So I found that really interesting.
Sometimes they are fake choices. You cannot really choose.
He was packaging like something that could make relevant stakeholders aware of the potential of the creative sector. They were not experts in everything overall, so there was a lot of collaboration involved.
The collaboration between us, Black Rhino VR and InVR Space, there could not have been African Space Makers without this collaboration, and all the partners involved know this very well.
Okay, bye.
Understanding that we wanted people to actually feel like they're in these spaces. So immersion was a key factor. So as a cinematographer or director of photography, you're considering the entire space. And there are very many factors, distance from the talent or actors to the camera. So it doesn't feel like people are too far, too close. What does the lighting in the scene look like? Does it really drive the message home of what we're trying to say within this space? Because like we said, that key factor here were the spaces.
Masaimbili was like, it's a vibe, the space itself, without even Kewustero and everybody else, the space itself, you're already like, wow, it's already speaking to you, to whatever level it resonates with you.
First of all, we're working with Vincenzo. This is his first immersive piece. So he was really experimental when it came to like doing shots. So he had, let's say he had an idea, first with like Lyle Isa, and he's like, yo, I want to do this and that. Can it make sense? We're like, yeah, let's do it. Because it's VR also. There are rules, but there are no rules.
We are used to being somewhere booming behind the camera. What in this case it's slightly difficult. So you have to like change your way of thinking and change the way of how you'll approach this. I don't know, use lapel, but then at the end of the day, do you think by using a lapel you'll get the effect the way it's supposed to? Like it was my first time using the ambisonic mic to record sound at 360, but at the same time I started picturing if I were to listen to this thing, how will I want to do this? How will I want the sounds to pan? How will I want the sounds to be coming in if I'm listening to the final product? Then okay, once I got that, it started making the concept slightly more understandable for me.
I think all of that was experimental. I don't know, I've never done anything like that personally. I don't think we have. So it was a lot of risk taking, but it was fun.
Yeah, even without knowing each other, it went to collaboration directly from scratch. It was like as if we would work since decades together, because space making is something that happens all over the world.
Especially in Berlin.
Especially in Berlin. Of course, we've been curious how this might look like in Robi and if it might be totally different. And of course it is in a way, but the spirit is more or less the same, and you meet artists with the same or like similar ideas and similar...
And in the end, it's a story that we know in all the urban spaces around the world. I mean, it's not only Nairobi, it's not only Africa, and it's not only Berlin, it's not only Europe, it's all the urban places are transforming nowadays. And what we see in African Space Makers episode 1 is people who take their spaces back, who have a spirit and energy of taking the spaces back, making something extraordinary, and you will feel it when you watch it and when you enter these different worlds.
And also it's in your memory, you know, it stays in your memory. We've gone for experientials where people have never visited places that were playing for them in there, but whatever experience they had through the technology will always be with them because it marks in your memory like an experience you've had in real life.
Oh, the music is amazing, Kevo.
The media that we have used is a different media, but the approach that we have used during the production has been exactly the same of the last 12 years. We have been always develop the story and the script together with the protagonist of the story. And the same has happened also with the African Space Makers.
I would say my favorite episode was the Java Juice episode. It put me in spaces that I'm very familiar with already. The Java crew actually gave us Java Juice to try. Yo!
It shows the party life of Nairobi. With African Space Makers, you get to experience all these in an hour.
I know it's almost counterintuitive because it's giving people the ability to experience the spaces without having to leave their houses. But on the flip side, from how I felt about it, it feels like the kind of thing that would excite me into actually going to experience it.
And that's just speaking about Kenya. Like now if you take like Africa as a whole, like whoa, there's so much that can be done.
Just a quick tip though, ladies, if you're going to watch something that requires you to wear VR goggles, don't wear makeup because you will transfer all your makeup onto the glasses.